everybody, my name is Danielle and this is Chatter Out Loud. Thank you so much for joining me. Your presence is very much appreciated. So welcome or welcome back. Today I'm going to chat about a Netflix movie I watched over the weekend. And if you're interested, keep listening. So I watched a few movies over the weekend, and the original film, A Perfect Pairing on Netflix, is one of the movies I enjoyed. At the time of this recording, it is trending and ranking in the top 10 new release movies on Netflix. It stars Victoria Justice, who plays Lola, and Adam DeMoss, who plays Max. Now, if you're a fan of the Hallmark Channel, you'll definitely appreciate and like this movie. When I first saw the trailer and I read the synopsis, it gave me all the feels of an original made-for-TV rom-com that I'm used to seeing on the Hallmark Channel. And as a Hallmark fan, we know and we love that the rom-com movies end with the happily ever after. But that's not what we really enjoy the most, right? I mean, we love the happily ever after, yes, but it's the journey, right? The journey to getting to that happily ever after. That's what we like the most. And a really good kiss in the end, in my opinion. A Perfect Pairing on Netflix. It gives us a journey on being fearless. And it does that with giving us beautiful scenery as well. There's a lot of cheese to go with the wine and a little predictability. But with all of that, I liked the movie. I really did. It's Hallmarky. It worked for me in terms of, I like the movie. Let's put it that way. So the synopsis is as follows. To win over a major client, a go-getter LA wine executive signs on to work at an Australian sheep farm where she sparks with a rugged and mysterious local. All right, so the movie opens up with a beautiful aerial view of a vineyard, and we get more shots of Australia, Sydney, Australia. We see the landscape, and all of it was really, really beautiful. There are other scenes where we see a baby kangaroo, we see sheep, wild animals, and a waterfall. Really beautiful scenery, and I really like that I like that a lot in this movie. In fact, there's a line in the movie where Lola says to Max during a sundown, and Lola's just taking in the beautiful view. And she goes, "There goes Australia, showing off again." Oh, that was just really a really good line. That was a great scene. I enjoyed it. All right, so Lola is a wine importer. She's pursuing a regional sales director position at the company she works for. However, what I believe to be her best friend steals her idea to pursue Vaughan Family Wines, an Australian wine company. And as a result, Lola quits her job and decides to branch out on her own. She starts her own business and then follows a plan of pursuing Vaughan Family Wines as her client. This would be a big one for her. So her ambition leads her down under, where she tries to win over Hazel Vaughan, the face of the Vaughan Family Wines Company. It doesn't go as Lola planned. It doesn't go as she planned, I should say. And she winds up working on the sheep farm. I think that's what they call it, or ranch. She decides to work there on the ranch. And by doing that, she's wanting to prove how serious she is to getting the Vaughan Family Wines as her client. And through this, we see her get close to Max, and Max is the boss running the ranch. And then we see all that develops. We see how she evolves and everything that develops from her time on the ranch and with Max. And as I mentioned earlier, if you're a fan of Hallmark movies, original made-for-TV rom-com specifically that we see on the Hallmark Channel, I think you'll like this movie. It gives all the elements of a Hallmark movie journey, including the happily ever after. I like the message about being fearless, with Lola quitting her job, branching out on her own, and achieving success, not only in business, but in love. And she does that quite nicely. All right, so let's talk about the performances. I found that the individual performances were really good. I thought Victoria Justice did a very, very good job in her role as Lola. I believed her in that role. There are funny moments in the movie where I felt the delivery of her line and the timing was perfect, right? We get a lot of words of wisdom from Max throughout this movie, and I guess that was okay if you like a lot of words of wisdom. I don't think there was chemistry between the two leads, between Lola and Max, or I should say between Victoria and Adam. I just don't think there was chemistry. I don't know. Their kiss seemed a little forced to me. The relationship seemed forced. I didn't buy them being together. It just didn't work for me. But individually, I thought their performances were done well. There were a few funny moments in the movie. One of the first funny moments was when Lola arrived in Sydney and the guy offering to get her luggage lifted it up and fell out of the van. I don't know why that was so funny to me. It made me laugh out loud. I think that's the physical comedy, I guess. But it caught me off guard. That was one of the moments that made me laugh. And then the other moment was when Lola was with someone else from the ranch and they were eating breakfast, and she was eating a piece of toast and she had spread on the toast. And she says, "So tell me, what is Vegemite? What exactly is Vegemite?" I guess that was the spread that was on the toast. And the guy said, "It's leftover brewer's yeast." And that cracked me up. And she's like, "Oh, that's interesting. What's that over there?" You know, because she wanted the guy to turn his head. And as soon as he turned his head to go look to see what was over there, she spit out the toast in the napkin. I thought that, I don't know, her timing in that and just the way she delivered the line, I found it to be really funny. And that really made me laugh out loud. I liked that scene. And she did really well. There were a few moments in the movie where I thought, I don't know. The cheesy puns is an example. When Lola she was naming the sheep or talking to the sheep. She called one Ba Streisand. Even that, it's just ridiculous, right? And then another one was Meryl Sheep. It was so cheesy, but I thought, I don't know, enough with the puns. I did enjoy it, but I just thought it was one too many. There was another one where she said, like, "What the flock?" Like a flock of sheep. It was one too many, I guess. And then a couple of days in a row in the movie, Lola wore the same clothes 2 days in a row. And they weren't even dirty, right? Yet she's working on a sheep farm. So I'm not sure why that captured my attention, but it did. And so I just thought, I don't know about that. I think somebody should have paid attention to the continuity, right? She's working on a sheep farm, yet the second day of wearing the same outfit, she's not even dirty. It's just, I don't know. It captured my attention. So that's just a little criticism there. With the romance, they tried with the romance with the first spark after Max saw the brown snake and he rescued her and he lifted her up and they glared into each other's eyes. I didn't believe the moment. I'm sorry, I just didn't. And this was one of the first examples where I thought, the chemistry isn't there. I felt like their kiss later on was awkward. The timing of the kiss didn't really work. And that's probably because I wasn't moved with them getting closer as a couple. I didn't buy into it. I guess that's what I'm saying. It was just something that didn't work for me. And I'll just say that there was little chemistry between the two leads. That's how I felt. But again, individually, I thought that their performances were done. They did a good job, right? So even with all the cheesy moments and the puns and the lack of chemistry between the two leads, I liked the movie. I just did. It was so Hallmarky. I I like it. I'm a big fan of Hallmark movies and mysteries, Up TV. Like, I like these movies, and this fell right into that category. So if you're a Hallmark fan, I think you'll like this one. I thought Victoria Justice did a good job, and I believed her as Lola. I really did. I even believed Adam DeMoss as Max. I just didn't believe them together romantically, right? And that will be my only criticism of the movie. I enjoyed the storyline. I enjoyed the supporting actors. The best friend in the workplace, I thought she was funny. She had a few funny lines. And the roommates were all interesting. They were all interesting characters, all believable characters, right? We have friends and family, like all of these characters in the real world. So I like that part of it as well. So did you see the movie? A Perfect Pairing on Netflix. It's streaming now on Netflix. If you saw the movie, leave me a comment. Let me know your thoughts. I'd appreciate that. If you haven't watched it and you're a Hallmark fan, like I said earlier, I think you'll like it. So I recommend giving it a try. Okay? And then come back and leave me a comment to share your thoughts on the movie. All right, so that's all I have. I invite you to come back and give me a listen. I'd love for you to like, share, rate, follow, and subscribe, all of which will help me grow. So thank you in advance. All right, my name is Danielle, and you're listening to my podcast, Chatter Out Loud. Excuse me. Thank you so much for joining me, and as always, I appreciate your support. And that's all I have. Thanks again for listening, and I'll talk to you next time.